Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper, and I am coming at you today with a WIP Chat, and we're working on Herbalist's Helper today. This is what the wheel rolled for me to work on. It's by Ivy Dolore. And by the wheel I mean, if you haven't been around before, I spin a wheel each time I'm gonna work on my next section to figure out which of my WIPs I'm gonna work on, and this time it's this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I am working with a pen from C'est Plus Beau Atour today. I have the Diamond Art Club. I think this is the 12 tip multi-placer, and then a Muni-Made tray. Oh my gosh, how are you guys all doing? I am so excited to be doing a WIP Chat with you today. I actually posted a new type of video this week, new to me at least. And I know a lot of YouTubers do like month in reviews and show all the projects that they finished for the month, but there are definitely a lot of months where I don't finish any projects because I'm kind of slow at diamond painting, and so I tend to have my WIPs for quite a while. So I knew month in reviews wouldn't quite work for me, but I thought instead I'd do like a WIP parade, or like just show what I currently have in progress and how much I've gotten done on them throughout the month. So for January, I showed this one. Sorry if the camera shook there. And I showed Satura. I do have one other WIP, but it's not one I can show. It's like a mystery. So I probably would have gotten done more on these two if I didn't have that one as well, but it's almost done. So then I'll just have these two unless I start something else, which I probably will, knowing me. So yeah, a lot of you mentioned that you liked that video or that video type, so I'll probably continue to do those monthly and see how it goes. I mentioned in that video that this kit was one I was excited to work on because I have Warm Witch by Ivy Dolore hanging up in my front bathroom, and I have for a couple of years since I did it for Drills and Chills in, I'm pretty sure 2022. And one of you had asked to see how I hung that one. So I took a picture, and if it was you that asked, or if you're interested, look at the screen now and I'll post the picture of how that one is hanging. My sister-in-law bought me a magnetic frame for it, and so I used that, and that's how it's hung. I really love how it looks, and I plan to buy a similar one for this painting once it's done. Speaking of Ivy Dolore, a few WIP Chats ago, I mentioned that I was considering doing a Ivy Dolore DP along, because I've never hosted one before, and I thought it would be fun, and I love Ivy Dolore's kits. However, like right after I talked about that in my WIP Chat, my friend Katie from Diamonds and Washi sent me a link to show me that another crafter has announced that she's already doing a Ivy DP along. So if for those of you who are interested in participating in an Ivy DP along, we can totally join that one. It's being hosted by Michaela Renee Crafts on Instagram. She also has a YouTube, and I was kind of glad that Katie sent me the link to that because I found her YouTube channel and I love watching her diamond painting vlogs that she does every week. So yeah, check her out. She's Michaela Renee on YouTube, and I'll try and remember to post a link to her channel. And then Michaela Renee Crafts on Instagram. And she is hosting an Ivy Dolore DP along in May. So that gives you plenty of time to decide which Ivy Dolore kit you want to use and get ready for that event. It's going to be so much fun. So I just got to figure out, I mean, Cauldron of Myrrh would be a perfect one to do in May because of Mermaid. But I recently agreed to trade that one to my son for Fisher Gal because he has Fisher Gal and I had Cauldron of Myrrh, and he decided he'd rather have Cauldron of Myrrh. And I really want to do Fisher Gal, so I figured we'd just trade. It'd be fine. So I probably won't be doing Cauldron of Myrrh for the DP along, but I'm not sure which one I will do. I have almost all of Ivy's work. I might try to take on something huge and do either the Tea Party or Rose Library. Rose Library is probably my favorite one that I have by Ivy, and so I'm tempted to do that one. But I know I won't finish the DP along in time. But that's okay. It's not a race. It's just for fun. And I am kind of itching to do that, especially since I'm pretty sure it has the new perforated cover, which I haven't tried yet, but I've been aching to. I really want to try it. I think I will enjoy that, but I won't know till I try, you know? If you have tried it, let me know down in the comments what you think of the new perforated cover and whether you like it. The reason I think I'll like it is because sectioning out with washi tape for me is kind of stressful, and it's for silly reasons. Like, I really want to get the sections even, but I also really don't want to take the time to actually measure them out. So I'm trying to eyeball it, and I get all upset if I don't do it what I would deem as correctly, even though there really is no correct way to do it. It's just whatever works for you. And so it's all like in my head and of my own making, but I don't know, it's more stressful than it needs to be. Also, it bothers me if I run out of washi tape in the style I chose before I finish sectioning out the canvas, which is why on this one I've started just doing like one section at a time, because at least that way it won't bother me if I have multiple different types of washi tape all at once on there. I don't know. It's my brain, I guess. but yeah, so I'm excited with the perforated cover because then it's already sectioned out for me. I don't have to use washi tape unless I want to mark where the edges are. So I'm excited to try it and see how it works for me. But yeah, interested to see if you guys have tried it and liked it or not liked it and why. I know it's like a very subjective thing about, you know, whether you use release papers or whether you use washi tape. I don't like release papers because they tend to start like peeling up at the sides, and it's hard to, I typically roll my kits when I'm, you know, switching from one to another. And if I have release paper on there, they don't roll as well, and the release paper starts to come off and it's a big mess. And so leaving the plastic cover on definitely helps me with the way that I work. So yeah. Speaking of Ivy Dolore and new releases with new plastic cover, I managed to grab Rainbow Head today. I'm filming this on Saturday, and today was new release day at Diamond Art Club, and I was so excited that Rainbow Head was out. That is one that I suggested because I really thought people would love it. So I hope you guys love it. as much as I do. So I snagged that up right away. And then also, I'm Here for the Food by Mrs. Butter D. That is like my soul painting. I love that one so much. I mean, a lot of that food I can't have anymore because of the diabetes and stuff, but I still like heavily identify with that painting. So I was really lucky, and I set my alarm and I got on there right away and managed to snag it before it sold out rather quickly. So I felt really lucky about that because I put both of them in my cart and checked out and still managed to snag it. So yeah, if you guys got anything from the new releases this week, what did you get? Let me know. I'm going to try to adjust the camera so that there's a bit less glare. So hold on, I'll be right back. Well, I don't know that that's actually any better, but we'll see. I did remember to set the focus lock, so hopefully it isn't getting all crazy for you guys. Anyway, speaking of being lucky and managing to snag things that sold out fast, did any of you catch the Butterfly Effectware's pen drop today? Oh my goodness, they had the amethyst colorway, and I was so excited when they posted about that colorway on Monday because my birthday's in February, so amethyst is my birthstone, and it's so pretty the way that they poured those blanks. And so I was looking forward to that all week, and there have definitely been times when I've tried to grab one of their pens at a drop and just completely missed out because, too many people were trying to get them at once. So I was nervous that I wasn't going to be able to grab one, but I was refreshing right at, for me it was 1:58 p.m. this afternoon, and I kept refreshing and they finally showed up, and I had probably about 4 different designs that I really wanted, so I just told myself, whichever one of those you see first, go for it, because there won't be time to keep looking for any specific ones. So just browse until you see one of these 4, and then pop it in your cart and go, go, go. Because I use Etsy on my browser on my phone so that I can use Apple Pay to quickly just buy it in one click. And that helps a ton. And I managed to actually get my first choice, which I couldn't believe it, but yeah, so I got my favorite one, and what a cool early birthday gift to myself. So yeah, I spent more money than I should have today, but I couldn't pass those things up, man. You know how it is, right? Help. However, I am a little bit worried because I know at least the Butterfly Effectware's pen is going to be delivered into my mailbox. And we've been having some issues lately with our mailbox. So you might notice that I don't have any nails on, and I talked about that in, I think, my last WIP Chat about how I had run out and ordered more from kissimpress.com. And they were delivered on the 29th, according to tracking. But when I went to pick them up, they weren't in my mailbox, along with some mail we had been expecting. So, because I didn't go the same day, and I probably should have, but I don't know, I'm not good at motivating myself to go to the mailbox because it's a couple blocks away, and it's hard to interrupt my day to go do that sometimes. So I usually only get the mail like once or twice a week. And my son told me on Wednesday, so Monday's when like my nails were delivered, and on Wednesday as he went to catch his bus for school, which is close to where our mailbox is, he noticed that the entire front panel of the mailbox, like, array was open, ajar, as if the mailman had left it that way after putting the mail in. Because, you know, if you have a mailbox array and it's got like a bunch of different boxes stacked on top of each other, when you go to get your mail, you can just open your box, but when the mailman puts mail in, or mail delivery person, when they put the mail in, they just open the whole front and then they can see each slot for each person. And it looks like they just didn't securely close it when they were done. And yeah, my new nails got stolen. So that's a big bummer. I emailed, luckily, I mean, some of the other mail we had in there was important. One of it is for an upcoming doctor appointment for Casey. Paperwork I need to fill out, so I'm going to have to call them and have them send that to me again, which is really annoying. But at least I didn't pay for that. And the nails, I did pay, like, it was almost $40 because I ordered like 4 nail sets and they're $10 each. So the fact that someone else just took them is upsetting. I don't know if I can contact the post office and be like, hey, you guys messed up and now I'm out this money. And if they can even do anything, like, how am I going to prove that? Or did anyone else complain about missing mail? Like, maybe they have an incident report. I don't know. So I guess I might try that route. I did email Kiss and Press and be like, hey, I know this wasn't your fault. I don't know if there's anything you can do on your end, like get in touch with the carrier or anything. Or maybe offer me a discount for replacing it. I don't know. It just sucks to have spent the money and have nothing to show for it. Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because it isn't their fault. They sent the product. But, like, it's not my fault either. Although, I guess it's partially my fault because I didn't go get them out of the mail right away. But also, I don't know. I don't feel like I should have to worry about people being able to get into my locked mailbox because the mail carrier didn't close it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about the situation. Should I just bite the bullet and repurchase the nails? Yeah, I don't know. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get this WIP Chat uploaded by my usual upload time. I'm recording it a bit later than usual. I try to record my WIP Chats on Friday evenings because then I have all day Saturday to edit because I can be kind of slow at editing. But if you'll recall from my last WIP Chat, I mentioned that the newest Sarah J. Maas book was being released this last week. And as of last night, I had less than 2 hours to go on the audiobook. So my choice was to either record this WIP Chat or finish the audiobook. And I finished the audiobook. So I'm hoping I still have enough time to get this WIP Chat completed and posted in time. But yeah, I prioritized the book. I'm sorry, guys. And it's funny because this book was big hype, and I had finished the second book just like a week before this one came out, so I was totally ready for this new one. And this is my favorite series by Sarah J. Maas, the Crescent City series. So I was really excited. And as of now, having finished the book, No spoilers, but I'm giving it like, in my head, it's like a 3.5, which is a little disappointing, to be honest. I had something earth-shattering and large happened at the end of the second book that made a lot of her fans really excited for, including me, really excited for this third book. And the way that it was handled in book 3 was just, in my opinion, a bit of a letdown. So that kind of soured my opinion of the whole book, to be honest. But it's not that it was a bad book. It's just, like I said, 3.5 is not, it's not that bad. And maybe after I've let it sit a while, that rating will go up in my head. But I did rate it 4 stars on Goodreads because you can't do half-star ratings. So I rounded up. And I don't know. I just, like, if I had been writing them, I would have done things differently. And obviously I'm not the one writing them. So I really, it's her world, and if that's what she wants to do, then that's what she wants to do. But I know I'm not the only one who was a bit disappointed by the way it went down. So now I don't know what to read next. I have been reading Sarah J. Maas books like for the past almost year, I think, trying to get caught up. My reading group and I were reading the Throne of Glass series together, and that was after I had already read ACOTAR. So yeah, now that I'm out of Sarah J. Maas books to read, I'm not quite sure what will be next. I have a lot of books on my want to read list, and so that makes it harder to pick what to go with next. Although I do want to do a reread of the Stormlight Archive series, because the convention that I'm hoping to go to with my kids in December is going to be celebrating the release of the 5th Stormlight Archive book. I've talked about this before. And I want to make sure I'm all caught up and fresh, have everything fresh in my mind for when the 5th book comes out, so I can just jump right in and be ready to read it once it's released. So I definitely think I won't have any trouble reading those 4 books and a few novellas before December. But I was actually considering, some of you have mentioned in my comments wanting to do like a book club type WIP and Chat thing, and I was wondering if any of you would like to do a read along with me for those Stormlight Archive books. I don't know how I would arrange it or like set it up, but I could maybe do special videos to talk about, I don't know, different parts of the book, and you could watch if you wanted to read along, and if you don't want to read along, then maybe skip them so you don't get spoilers. But I could maybe do those videos like in addition to my WIP and Chat videos, my regular WIP and Chat videos, so that people can still watch the regular ones if they don't want to get spoilers for these books. I don't know. If you have any suggestions on that, let me know. I asked because a couple people had expressed interest. So if there is any interest in doing a kind of book club thing, read along thing, let me know, because I think it could be fun. And it would be really neat to be able to share those books with people, because they're some of my favorites. And I love to talk about them. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you think that'd be fun, and if you would consider joining in if I was to do like a read-along thing. And if not enough people want to do a read-along, then I probably won't talk in depth about the book on my channel, but I'll still give you updates as I read and everything. So yeah, depending on whether there's interest in that, I might start that reread next, or I might try to fit in another book in between while I'm figuring out how to set up a read-along. But if you guys have Goodreads and you want to friend me over there, my Goodreads is Styxlady, S-T-Y-X lady. And I'd be happy to have you as friends there and be able to keep up with what you're reading. And I do have a few friends over there, and it's really fun to just go on there every day and see how much progress everyone's made on what they're reading and stuff. So it's really fun. It's also a good place to keep track of like all the books you want to read in the future or all the books you have read. I definitely have not even come close to like being able to list out everything that I've read, because I don't know. Every once in a while I go in there and like think of a bunch of books I've read before and search them up and add them to my read shelf, but it would take a while to add every book I've read onto there. Maybe someday I'll get there, I don't know. Speaking of books, so I just got back from the bookstore today with Casey, my son, because if you'll remember, his birthday was last weekend, and along with a book from his brother and a whole book series from me, he also got some Barnes & Noble gift cards, which it turns out he needed because his birthday was Saturday, and that's when we had his party, and he opened his gifts, and he got a novella from Fletcher, my other son, and the whole Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson from me, and that was 4 full-length novels and 3 novellas. So quite a few books. And by Thursday, he had read all of them. So I can't keep this boy supplied. So now he's rereading stuff again that he's already read, but I took him to the bookstore today to pick up something new so that he'd be able to use his gift cards and continue his reading journey. He got 2 more books. He was hoping to get, he's missing a few in a series he likes called The Unwanteds, and he's read like the first 6 of them, but unfortunately Barnes & Noble didn't have the 7th book, so we weren't able to get that one. So he got Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, which is a standalone so far. Brandon Sanderson is planning to write a sequel, but right now it's a standalone, and that's one that Casey hasn't read yet. And then he also got another Brandon Sanderson book called Steelheart, which is the beginning of a series that's like not part of his fantasy Cosmere world, but is more of a young adult series. And I have read the first 2 books of that. I need to read the third and final one. I haven't read it yet, but it's really good. It's kind of a twist on superheroes, and instead they're called epics. But every single person who became an epic, because it's kind of like the X-Men, where it happened over a period of time and people just got these powers. And every single person who got these powers became evil. So they're like super villains, and there aren't any superheroes in the world to fight them because everyone who has powers also goes bad. So it's left up to regular people to try and fight them or avoid them or what have you. So very interesting book series. I really enjoyed the first two, and I'm not sure why I haven't gotten around to reading the third one yet. Maybe that'll be the next book I read. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for Casey to start those. I think he'll like both of them. He really liked the Skyward series. I was worried he might not, but because it's sci-fi instead of he's used to reading more fantasy. But he really liked it. And that's what he's currently rereading, even though he just finished it. So I know he enjoyed it. While we were out at the bookstore, I had to stop at Petco because I had to pick up a content warning for, I don't know, those of you who are a little bit afraid of snakes. I had to pick up a live mouse because one of my snakes is for some reason refusing to eat frozen thawed all of a sudden. And it's gotten to the point where he really needs to eat. And so I had to try a live feeding, which I hate doing. But anyway, we were at Petco and I saw the cutest thing. And I'll put up a picture on the screen now. Maybe a couple pictures, because these ferrets were being so cute. I love ferrets and I would definitely have one, except that my husband has already had one in the past, and that one was such a troublemaker and so stinky that my husband doesn't ever want another one. But they were being so adorable, as you can see in the picture. There was this upside down ferret house, and they were all just bundled up in there together sleeping, and one of them, I guess, couldn't quite fit, and his body was like half in, half out, and his head was like lolling. It was so cute. And one of the other ones, his little tongue was sticking out. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I had them to look at, because it took like half an hour for the person to come and help me at the rodent center. So I was entertaining myself by watching these ferrets. Only one of them was awake, and he was like crawling underneath the one that was like lolling out of the house and trying to get him to play. And I'm like, dude, he's asleep. And yeah, he would not wake up for anything. So they made my day happy, especially since I was there for such a sad reason. Anyway, I won't talk more about that. Although it was funny, I came home with, they double box the mice, because sometimes the mice like to try and chew through the box that they're in, the little take-home box. So they put the small box inside a larger one. So I brought home a pretty large box from Petco, and my husband saw it, and I totally fooled him. I was like, so we were at Petco and I saw these really cute ferrets and I just couldn't resist. And he was like getting all mad because he thought I bought a ferret. So I quickly let him know that it was not a new pet and would not be around for very long. And he said gross and went about on his way, because he's not a fan of the snakes either, but he tolerates them for me. But yeah, I definitely pulled that one over on him, which I thought was funny, because later I was like, did you really think I'd bring home a ferret and not like at least a cage to keep him in or something? And he was like, well, I don't know. But Casey and I thought that was funny. Speaking of Casey, he was so cute this week. He decided that he found this recipe somewhere online for homemade dog food. And he decided he wanted to make it for our dogs, because he was sad that they just get to eat kibble all the time and they don't get to switch it up. So he was going to make them homemade dog food, and he actually took the time to write out the whole recipe on a piece of paper, and he stuck that to our whiteboard we have in the kitchen that's magnetic. He stuck that up there with a magnet and was like, please buy all the ingredients for this. So I went to the store and made sure we had all the ingredients, and then he cooked up the dog food, and we mixed it with their kibble, and they ate it for about, well, not quite a week, and I think they really liked it. And if I remember, I'll put some footage in here of Casey making that and giving it to them for the first time. Oh, homemade dog food. He's like, what are you doing? Special things are going in my bowl. Mix it up a little. Oh man. That's the good stuff, right, Max? Oh, hey, yeah. Max.
Hey, Chew. Let us know what you think.
Oh boy, Chewy. Oh boy, Goose.
Last but not least,
He's so excited.
he's sniffing it.
What do you think, buddy? Fancy dog food. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Okay. How is it? It actually tastes pretty good. Really? Mm-hmm. All right, my turn. Yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, I thought that was really sweet of him to think of them and make that for them. I don't know if he's going to want to do it again so that they have more of that food like on a weekly basis. But they seem to like it, and it seemed to not upset their stomach. So, because I was a little bit worried. One of our dogs has a tendency to regurgitate stuff, especially when he drinks too much water at once. He's been tested for lots of different things and everything came back normal, so the doctor thinks it's just behavioral. So we kind of have to make sure he doesn't stay at the water bowl too long drinking, or he'll regurgitate everything. And he did manage to regurgitate one batch of his dinner this last week, but for the most part, he kept everything down. I talk about the most lovely things in my WIP chats, don't I? I'm sorry. I remember when I was a kid, my grandma was a physical therapist, but she'd worked in the hospital for a long time, and my dad and uncles had worked in hospitals, and so whenever we'd have family dinners, they'd often tell stories of the things they saw when they were working at the hospital, and you really had to have a strong stomach in my family for when it was dinner time, because you never knew what they were going to talk about. And I guess I have inherited some of that. Anyway, you guys can take it, right? Whew, so February already. It seems like this year is already moving along very quickly. My husband and I did our taxes, and we had, so a little bit of backstory. We've never gotten a return. We always end up having to pay. And last year we had to pay a lot. So it was a little bit difficult. So this last year we made some changes at both of our jobs and had them withhold more per month, which kind of sucked monthly. We were getting less in our paychecks every month, but it worked out because we did our taxes this year and we're actually getting a return for the first time. And it's so nice to not have to worry about, like, not only not have to worry about having to pay, but also to, like, get excited about getting a return. It's been a long time since I've gotten to do that, and I remember it with fondness from when I first started working and didn't make very much money and got a return every year, and always excited to plan out how to budget the return and what I would, treat myself to with the extra money, which, I mean, it's your money anyway, but, like, I don't know, it feels like you're getting extra money because it's coming all at once. And yeah. So that was a pleasant surprise because I was worried we were still going to have to pay some, but just was crossing my fingers it would not be as bad as last year. And it's much better. I'm so happy. And so I'm hoping we can actually use that to, for Christmas, my husband gave me a little card that said we were going to book a vacation to Maui. I can't remember if I talked about that on a previous WIP Chat, but we've been talking about going to Hawaii together for so many years. And we never had like a honeymoon or anything like that. So for Christmas, my husband said we were going to book our Hawaii trip, and now I'm thinking we might actually get to do that since we don't have to pay a bunch of taxes and we're getting a return. So I'm hoping that works out because it'd be really nice to go on a vacation with just him and me. Although it's funny because we have considered doing it in the past, and every year we've considered it, we always end up saying something like, or we could take the whole family and do like a Disney vacation. And what usually ends up happening is that's what we do. We go with the family and do a family vacation instead, because we always feel a little bit guilty going on vacation without the kids. But I don't know, it'd be kind of nice to just go somewhere, the two of us, and reconnect and have a honeymoon finally after, how many years have we been married? It'll be 13 this year. After 13 years of marriage, it'd be nice to have that time together, I guess. So, yeah, we'll see. I think I'm going to have to, like, take the lead on booking it, or it might not actually get done. So even though it was his Christmas gift to me, I feel like if I don't, like, look everything up and plan it all, it won't actually happen. So I'm going to look into that. We'll see. I have to actually renew my driver's license because here in Oregon, they last, I think, 8 or 10 years. I can't remember which. But anyway, mine's expiring this year. And I have to get a real ID so that we can fly starting next year. And I don't want to, like, renew my license this year and pay for that, and then have to renew it next year again just to get real ID. So I'm just going to get real ID this time, but that means I have to go into the DMV to renew my license, and I just don't know when I'm going to do that yet because it's a giant pain to have to go down there and wait for who knows how long in line. And yeah, they weren't open today on Saturday, and I don't know if they're open on Sundays, but I feel like if I go on a Sunday, it's going to take that much longer because that's when, people might have the day off and be more able to go into the DMV. So I don't know if I should try to do it, like, wake up early and do it on a weekday, so that I can still get my full work hours in. I don't know. Adulting sucks. But I gotta do that before it expires. So hopefully, I keep thinking about it and then forgetting. And then a week will pass by and I'll be like, oh, wait, I still need to go do that. And then I'm like, you're going to run out of time and you're going to forget if you don't just go do it. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet probably this week or something and go down and try and get that done. Anyway, guys, I actually almost finished this section with you all today, which I don't usually get that much done in one WIP and Chat, but this was a very color blocking heavy section. I'm only on the third color, I think, and I am almost done with it. So that's probably why I managed to get all of this done. I'm excited to see what the wheel spins for me to work on next, because I'm so close to finishing that mystery one I'm working on. But also I'd love to work on Satura. So, and I mean, maybe it'll spin this one again, who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, but please do let me know down below if you would be interested in that read-along of the Stormlight Archive. So the Stormlight Archive is a fantasy novel series, and it's kind of long, very long books. So if it's not up your alley, I totally understand that. But they're also some of the best books I've read. So I'm really excited to read them again. So if you think you could get through some long books, or if you've read them before and are interested in reading them again before Stormlight 5 comes out, and you want to join a read-along, let me know so I can look into how to run one. I've never done that before. But yeah, it could be really fun. So leave that in the comment down below, and I hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you next week with my next WIP and Chat. Bye, everybody.